before anyone takes a picture of their hats, someone made those. I'm not selling hats. Okay, someone walked up on the street and handed it to Julie, so I'm not in the merch business yet. First of all, credit to Maryland. They battled. It's 24-14. They could have walked away. They battled back. I think there was however many unanswered. 17 or whatever it was. I think that quarterback's going to be dynamic. He played really well. Couldn't get to him. They found a way to run the football to a degree. We were, I think, we're -3 on the day on the turnover margin. So, our turnovers, led to 17 points for them. So they scored 10 points in the first half off it, and then obviously the pick six. Love the resolve of our guys. They continue to battle. Special teams continues. I mean, you guys, when I tell you how much I love this team, and you got Kenneth Williams, doesn't even have a scholarship. He's out there running that kickoff return back. So he does now, by the way. That was wrong. That wrong was righted after the game. But no, just proud of our guys, and I want to give credit to them too. Questions?
I know you've experienced Nebraska fans before, but to have 10,000 here, and then kind of the team comes back out and celebrates that moment for you guys emotionally.
Yeah, I'm like a get in the locker room, yes sir, say that, whatever. I went and got him, said go back out, that was palpable, the way it felt. I mean, you could feel it, and you get in those moments where it's like, oh no, we were down 7, in terms of you can sometimes feel it, and I thought our crowd just became electric, and even the run by Emmett, just like the feeling down there, just almost felt inevitable that we were going to score because of everything that was happening, and especially from the crowd. So I have to give a ton of credit to the fans and the crowd that was here.
Have you ever sent a team out of the locker room after a game?
Yeah, I think maybe I did once before at Temple. We didn't get the kind of crowds we get here, so I think we had one great crowd, and I did it, but it wasn't planned. It wasn't anything. It was just more like, I have a bunch of guys that do exactly what they're told. They're trying to get in because we want to get in and get on the road. But I wanted to make sure that I want our players to enjoy that moment. It's 2 straight close. There was a time where we were talking about bowl droughts and never winning a close game. Well, we're figuring a lot of that stuff out. So I wanted them to enjoy that moment, that reaction with their families, with their friends, with their fans, the people that came here. And so that was. This is living. You don't get to feel this very often. You know what I mean? In our, and so I want them to enjoy it as long as possible.
Can you speak on what Emmett gave you, just the balance he added to the offense, especially when the throwing game had some issues at times to have the ground game go with it?
Yeah, so we came out of last game, and we looked at the numbers, and we were 5.5, 6 yards a carry. We had a bunch of good runs. So we just said, hey, and we knew that they have these freshman edge rushers that are really, really dynamic in 29 and 9. So we were just like, hey, we're going to run the football, especially early. And, that first drive, it was clear, I think of our first 11 runs, I think 6 or 7 of them were 6+ yard runs. So we were feeling really good. But Emmett was on fire. And, I think 2 plays that really stand out to me are the play where Dylan was getting hit in the backfield, spun out and hit Luke. And then Luke went down the sideline. And then obviously Emmett's long run. I mean, I was screaming at the officials, and then he kept still running because I didn't know, we're not screaming, but just screaming to run. And I didn't realize he was even still running at some point. It was just such a great run. So, I just think Emmett's the ultimate competitor, but you look at him, like I said, he's third in Big Ten in rushing, so Dana wanted to get him some more attempts, and they did a good job of controlling the clock for a team that's not really a running offense, a passing offense. They did have the ball quite a bit, and then our turnovers in the first half hurt us, so we didn't get a ton of rhythm, but we knew eventually we would we'd break through.
In your words, what does it say about Dylan to come back and lead the team to that score after what had happened?
Yeah, I mean, one of the moments of my coaching, coming up in coaching, I was a young assistant offensive line coach for the Giants, and in the first half, I don't know if it was 4 or 5 interceptions Eli Manning threw against Tampa Bay, and he came back and won the game, kind of a walk-off play like that. And I just remember being like those guys don't get to feel sorry for themselves. They don't they just got to keep playing. And so, Dylan was banged up. He was hit in the thigh in the first half. Obviously that one pick that the kid hit him late, but he's just the ultimate competitor. It's why I get upset. Sometimes when people, the national media, to all the Mahomes compare. I'm like, this guy's a stone cold fighting winner, and he wants to win so badly. Ja'Cory, you guys saw that punt return, that last punt return. He reverses field, gets laid out, and then instead of running off the field, he just runs right back in the huddle. I mean, how can you not be inspired by those guys? So Dylan, he'll go back and look at the tape. You kind of live by the Sardavas where the touchdown he threw to Dane in the back of the end zone. I mean, that might have been, not a great decision, but he made it and he made the play. The last touchdown of the day in there, the one-handed catch, like that ball's at 6 inches less. It's picked off. It's the perfect throw, perfect catch. So, I'm proud of the kid.
Was the second interception, was he trying to throw that ball out of bounds?
I don't know. I'd have to ask him. Yeah, just kind of like, Glenn does such a good job with those guys. My thing was like, hey guys, if it's not there, let's just throw it away. Like we were in great rhythm, we were feeling good, and we decided to take a shot. Isaiah had run by them, earlier. We just felt like our long speed, we were gonna be able to run by them, and a little pressure, and we just gonna throw that ball away and keep playing. So I'm not super sure.
You've not had a game-winning drive on offense in your time here. What kind of confidence, what kind of momentum do you think that can build for you now? You're at the halfway point of the season going forward because of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing always, right? Like, do we have to be in that situation? Like, did we have to have 3 interceptions? We didn't tackle very well tonight? Like, we were diving at the ground a lot. No, they also have there are elite skill players there, and so that's my biggest gripe right now with our conference. Like that's a good football team, and I don't know if we pushed that enough. Like Maryland's, like they're talented as could be, and so they were hard to tackle. So I guess my point is like, did we have to be in that position? With that being said, we scored 10 points in the final 6 minutes, right? Like that's what winning teams do. And on defense, you got to put them away. And then, by the way, they still had, I would say, by the way, not to you, Mitch, I'm saying to our team, like I'm like to the team, like, hey, by the way, like they still had a chance to go down and win it at the end, and then they make the play on 3rd and whatever, and you're like, but then we made the play on 4th. So, yeah, I think in terms of momentum, I think it just continues to breed confidence. The biggest thing I felt was like no one was panicked on the sideline, but they weren't panicked last week. Like the Cincinnati game, that's three close wins. That comes down to the end, and our guys are very, very comfortable in the 4th quarter. And really, these are all the questions you guys have asked me about, like, hey, how are we going to get over this thing? And I said, hey, we're going to inoculate them by doing it all the time. We're going to teach it at a high level, and I thought we did it pretty well there. So that being said, we were 5-1 last year. And so, it's just about playing the next game, playing the next play, playing the next game. As corny as that sounds, man, I sit there the whole game. I can just tell you, my nerves inside, guys, are going 100 miles a minute, and I just say, play the next play, like just keep playing. So I'm preaching that. I believe it.
Couple more. On it, but can you speak more on that relentless pursuit of this team, just doing whatever it takes to win that may not have always been there before?
Well, I think, in fairness to our guys, I think we're just better. I mean, I think our guys battled. My first year, I love those guys. Like whatever success we have here moving forward, I'll always look back to the Reimers and the Nick Henriches and all those guys. Like those guys were absolute warriors. And so, I remember Ty Robinson saying to me one time, he said, "Coach, the one thing about us Nebraskans, even though he's from Arizona, he comes from Nebraska blood, right? That mom and dad went to Shatter State. Like, I remember him telling me, he's like, we can handle adversity and we don't quit. And so they've always had that. We're just getting better, and we're just making play. I mean, Pritchett kind of rolled his ankle and he played, hard. In the very end, he just was just really starting to limp on it. We put Turner in for him. Turner Corcoran. It's been a full year, and he's out there and he makes the plays at the end. So, if I could say one last thing, I think the offense and the defense, I think they support each other really well, and our special teams continue to come through. Even at the end of the half, it's sort of a shame we took that sack because we got the ball to the 50 at the half. We could have probably kicked a field goal.
Back-to-back weeks on the road, short week next week. How do you kind of attack what's next, knowing you don't have a lot of time to really think about this game?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to do the exact same week. The way we look at it, Friday night is about 12 hours from an 11 o'clock game. So we'll do the exact same game week. Like we'll practice on Sunday. We'll take Monday off. We'll do Tuesday. We'll do Wednesday. Just Thursday morning, instead of practicing, we'll walk through. And then Thursday night, we'll head up to Minnesota. I mean, the travel here we came on Thursday night, it was first class, absolutely first class. The hotel was elite. One of the best bus drivers we've ever had. But, Thomas, Susan, everything was really, really, really important here. And I think that shows up in the 4th quarter. Like, when I say those things, like, I want our guys to understand, like, hey, the reason why we eat well, the reason why we do all these things is so that in the 4th quarter you have energy to go make the plays to win. It's not for anything. It's not to be entitled. And I thought we had no distractions. We took our guys to a sauna and a cold plunge place, and the owner afterwards told Mitch, he was like, it's the best group of people we've ever had come through here. And so that's not me, that's Sierra. That's, I'd asked the high school, we went to walk through at a high school, and I'd asked the high school coach if the DBs could stay longer because they wanted to get individual drills on 5 a.m. I mean, just the culture of those guys is outrageous. And so we'll have to do that this week, though, because Minnesota's a really good team. It's a tough team. It's a hard place to play. It's been a while since we beat them. We're heading there. It's a game that we're going to, obviously, Julie, my wife Julie there, she lost her mother, Donna, to breast cancer. And my mom, my mom, Gloria, had breast cancer. So it's something we're very, very, very passionate about. And we're going to it'll be a breast cancer game this Friday. We partnered with Minnesota to do it, so but we'll have to muster a lot of stuff, because this was obviously took a lot out of us.
Is there anything else you can say just about the playmaking, like Heinrich with the catch on the sideline there?
What a catch!
And Dylan too, I think he was falling down when he threw the pass to Hunter on the last drive. Like you guys stepped up and made plays in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, and you go back, even Isaiah at the beginning, right, taking that same screen to the house. I mean, you just you get rid of the 3 turnovers. But again, we're gonna have you want to make those kind of plays. Sometimes they're gonna make plays too. The ball's gonna get intercepted, but so good to see like Luke make the play that he made. Heinrich make that was an unbelievable catch by Heinrich, unbelievable catch by Dane Key, and so. You watch us play, like the Keel's rotating in, Keelan Smith's out there, he's rotating in, Cortez Mills out there, Quinn Clark. We trust them all, and they all got to go play. And so, like I said, Kenneth Williams with the big kickoff return, Isaiah Mosey, they had him a 2nd and 20. He makes a great run to get us, in decent position. So it's just kind of the mindset of Dana, like, hey, just put the ball out there, and guys have to go make plays. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.